Hey lads, and welcome to video 279 on why the zombies community is dead and everybody is leaving. I know a lot of the controversy kind of started with Noah's tweet that he tweeted out saying that all zombie YouTubers, well, him himself, he's just trying to branch out, and I think a lot of zombie YouTubers took some inspiration from that. But I think that for 2019, I know a lot of you guys haven't been seeing much content. I've literally uploaded one video in like 2 weeks, so I want to really make this video as a stepping stone to what I think about Black Ops 4 Zombies. And honestly, I've seen a lot of great videos like Frenzy's video on why the community is dead and a bunch of other YouTube channels, and I really do think that Black Ops 4 is kind of over in my opinion. I don't really think there's much left to this game. We've seen Activision stock just plummet. We've seen so many bullshit things from, I think, a lot of zombie YouTubers, especially where they say that zombies is coming back, but in my opinion, I don't really think it is, and I don't really care about the hate. I'm going to be trying my best to do other type of content for you guys, but again, you know, if you want zombies, I will probably still be streaming it. I plan on streaming right now on twitch.tv to try out the town reimagined map that just released today. So again, I'm probably going to be uploading videos on certain new content like DLC, of course, and gauntlets, which is coming out soon. But again, I wouldn't expect too much. If you want me just for zombies, I would go to my Twitch, but especially if you want for any type of other content, my YouTube is basically where that's going to be. I'm going to be trying my best to go about it because, listen lads, I don't want to lie to myself here. I really don't like zombies at its current state. I will try certain things, I will try different things, but at the end of the day, it is my channel and I want to do the best I can for it. If there's videos that you guys want me to make, I'll try it, I'll consider it, but that's going to be it. For the rest of this video, I have a certain Reddit debate that I talked with one of the Woo lads. He does a lot of the zombies leaks and stuff about how kind of zombies is really an enigma in its sense. Like, it doesn't really make sense on how the whole community works and all that. So if you're interested in that and just kind of my problems as being a YouTuber and zombies and all that, definitely check out the rest of this video. It's a pretty good stream that I did talking to Eric, that's his name, about the debate. So check that out for sure. But other than that, lads, I'll leave you guys for the rest of this video. Hello lad. In the chat, everybody, this is Eric Maynard. Is it proper if I were to call you the lead of the Woo lads? Is that correct? Is that factually correct?
Face would be better. I don't do as much of the work as some of the other guys.
Okay.
But, you know, I appreciate the plug though.
No, dude, no, I'm very excited for this because I'm very interested as to like how what we're gonna talk about, and I want to clash. I want to see how it goes down.
All right, we can do that.
So
I just want to get what are we exactly arguing about here? Is it that Reddit is shit and I'm here to defend Reddit, or is it that Black Ops 4 is shit and I'm here to?
So and that's the thing, right? I want to do kind of like a combination of both. So
yeah, fuck yeah, let's just hit all the bars, man.
let's hit everything. Do you just avidly go on and check the post? Do you read it? Do you what is
I've made a couple of like big Reddit posts or whatever in the past, like the shit with the Final Reich and all that stuff, but I don't really particularly use it. I mean, I look at it, but that's just because to me there's only really that as a community. Like, there's nowhere else to go other than people's comment sections.
Okay. No, that's really interesting because I know there's like other areas like the COD Zombies forum. I've heard about that. But
yeah, I have an account on there. Yeah, I used to use it a long time ago. It's just like dead now. Like 10 people use it.
Okay. Just for the people wondering, well, guys, my position, I guess, on Reddit and Black Ops 4 is that I believe the Reddit is in a state of turmoil. How about that? I'm gonna say that, and I'm gonna say that Black Ops 4 is not living up to its expectations. So that's my I guess side to it. Chat, I'm gonna let Eric go first. So I want you to just say whatever you want to say about the Reddit. If you want to attack me right now, you can attack me. You can do whatever. The post is all yours. You can expose me.
I'm obviously not just going to attack you. We're trying to make a point here.
Yes.
Let's pretend to be grown for at least the first 15 to 20 minutes of this. Right?
Yeah, okay. So I want to know from your point of view, what do you think like zombie viewers, people who just go on YouTube to watch tutorials or guides or whatever, what do they specifically think that the YouTubers have that viewers don't?
Little things here and there, and I mean a lot of it is conspiracy theory, I'll say, but it's based in grounds when little things here and there have slipped through the cracks, right? Like the Gorod thing or whatever, or like the thing with looking at a bunch of dudes faking the final right, or like DLC 5, for instance, when that got leaked. I won't name no specific names, but that came from a YouTuber who, you know what I mean, ran his mouth to a couple people he shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And when things like that slip through the cracks, then everybody is consistently like left wandering. They're completely in the dark, you know, and people feel shitty and annoyed for that. And I can understand it from their perspective.
JC had Blundell go to his house, and everybody thought he was lying. Like, everybody, when he tweeted it out, his first announcement, it was for sure confirmed at that point that like something big was happening. And like for sure, YouTubers, like, obviously, like, we get some sort of kind of sign that something like that is happening as well. I'm just curious as to like what the hate is against that. That small creators get like supported as they're small, and then big creators are constantly the person that get targeted. But then all of a sudden, when it becomes into a situation like JC's situation, JC gets attacked and he gets mauled and he gets destroyed. And I'm just curious as to why something like that happens. Like,
yeah, I mean, I guess it's hard for me to state what exactly the Reddit was thinking, because at the time we knew DLC 5 was legit or whatever, so like we were like, okay, yeah, that's happening. Like we were kind of shocked it was JC or whatever, but we were happy because JC, like me and him, we met when he was really small or whatever. We had a little ordeal, and like we know each other or whatever, so we were super shocked it was him. But the Reddit, I think they got mad, and I guess trying to explain their viewpoint would just be that like obviously DLC 5 being real or not was a fucking hot topic at that time, and then you know a guy who is not that big and has never done anything particular with Treyarch is just like, oh yeah, he's coming to reveal it at my house, basically. Like, and of course, like some people are gonna be like, I don't know. I do think they came at him a little hard because I personally really like JC. Like I got a lot of love for JC. He's a good guy. And I think they came at him a little hard, definitely. But I think it was just out of not wanting to believe, like after all the bullshittery, it was more like not wanting to believe that it was really getting announced rather than like.
At that singular point from DLC 5, I knew, in my opinion, that the Reddit was a load of shit. As soon as the limelight finally switches to somebody else, even if they're small, the Reddit will just target them and fucking burn them to the ground. When I go on the Reddit and I just see all this stupid shit about Black Ops 4, it's crazy because listen, when Black Ops 4 came out, I was expecting a revolution. You know, every single zombies game, every single Treyarch game, there's always huge improvements to the mode. And like one of the biggest things that people complain about me on the Reddit is that I keep complaining about the game because there's not enough change. And in my opinion, I still stand that ground because I personally don't think that Black Ops 4 is good enough in its state where I feel like at this point in its game, it should be radically different than what we've had in Black Ops 3.
Really? I feel like it is. That's
see, this is what I think of radical difference though. I love the idea of what Jimmy Zielinski had in Black Ops 2, and I thought that Blundell was finally gonna go for that in Black Ops 4, but he just never did. He just never did. Just like the branching of storylines, and like I think that people say when Black Ops 4 doesn't have any content, I really do think so. Even though there's 5 maps in 2 months, the majority of what you can do in each map is the exact same that we've seen months and months ago. It's the same shit. You go in, you do the Easter egg, you get the wonder weapon, you do all that, and then it's done. The map is done. There's nothing else to it. So like, my personal opinion, when I see people Reddit on attack me, I'm just so confused because it's like, so you guys will literally play the same thing over and over again for 4 DLCs and not enjoy a different experience. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah, okay. Well, I mean, I'll have to break that one up into multiple responses. The first one being on the Reddit, the second one being on the game. I think that the Reddit has definitely gone downhill over a period of time.
Okay.
And I don't necessarily blame that on anything in particular. I think there's 2 big factors. Factor number 1 was that the community blew the fuck up. Like, we got big. And obviously, like, when I was like 14 fucking years old, you know.
Right, yeah.
Like, it was really small. Like, everybody knew everybody. Like, and then obviously some of us have blew up, and like the guys who've been around since then, you know, like Milo and Dalek and everybody, that's part of the reason why they're so big, is they've been around, been constant figureheads, you know, with dependable content since then. As we've grown, we've got like a bunch of fucking kids, obviously, you know, come in, and like they sort of just hive mind and like agree with each other. And the bigger the community gets, the less they can sort of have any kind of thought, and they're all just fucking thinking the same thing. And I think Reddit, as far as the website, that's its biggest weakness, is the upvotes and downvotes thing, because it's just like anything that the community doesn't agree with gets downvoted, which is breaking the rules of Reddit. You're not supposed to downvote shit you disagree with.
Right. Okay.
But people do. And then as far as Black Ops 4 goes, I think it has the most content and it has changed the most, because I feel like when you look at this game, and I think they even talked about it in an interview previous to the game coming out, but they said this is the first time they've looked at it as an entire puzzle piece again. Like, let's say you're playing Jenga and you build a little house or whatever, that's World at War, and then you put more blocks on top of that, and that's all the shit they add in Black Ops 1. Put some more blocks on that, that's the shit they put in Black Ops 2, you know, et cetera. And like they would do that shit, but then all of a sudden it's just this big tower that's chaotic as fuck. Whereas with Black Ops 4, they took everything apart, looked at it from the ground up, said how does everything fit with everything, and tried to really genuinely balance and work in the new systems and shit. And I really dig the new systems and the new balance, and the lack of jug entirely is a godsend. It's something that's needed done.
Well, no, and I agree with that. You know, initially when we got to play the game first, all the YouTubers, we were scared as fuck. Sat down, we talked with them, and we said, okay, listen, what you need to do is you need to do a Jeff Kaplan styled video saying that this is the change in Black Ops 4. Because if you don't, people are people, and they're not gonna ever see it, and people are gonna be mad because they're gonna be like, where the fuck did Juggernaut go? And everybody's gonna get mad, and that's essentially what happened. It's just, there's so many, like, to me, it's just huge lack of communication that I don't ever see with the game, and I think that's what makes me angry the most. And it's just that Reddit can never see that. Like, that's what they, and I feel like Blundell leaves that on our shoulders to push out the communication of the game. And then when we try and give our opinions and such, people just destroy us. But in a way, it's the developers saying this stuff for the game. Do you know what I mean? Like,
no, I get exactly what you mean there. Like, I do in fact entirely agree with your point about every map being the same. Like, from I hated Black Ops 3 for the same reason. I felt like it was all like the Blundellverse maps, like where it's just like yada yada yada, 4-part thingy, get the wonder weapon, yada yada yada, Easter egg. Like, it's all the same hoopty dog, like shit. Every map is copied. It's Origins copied and pasted.
It's literally been Origins like number 12 for Black Ops 4.
No, I literally made fun of Black Ops 3 for that.
I'm gonna play Zombies right now.
At least got away from it some, and I've enjoyed it more with like the systems being reworked. But again, I think a lot of it also comes down to what kind of a player you are and like what you enjoy Easter eggs versus like just chill and killing zombies and play. And like if you're more into the mindless play and shit. But
from a viewer aspect, Revelations had like Noah J hundreds of thousands of viewers in the map. How did we go from such a peak to a map to such a decline at the very bottom? Like, where did that go within the span of 3 years? Was that the side modes? Like, was that the toxicity rising from those game modes because all the other YouTubers hated the same thing over and over and over? Like, I don't understand what was going on with that. You know what I mean? Like,
I do get what you mean, and to back up and talk about the communication thing you said a second ago too, I will actually 100% agree with you on that. I think that's Treyarch's biggest weakness. I think as a developer they do well, but their huge problem is communication. And I will say a lot of that I think lies in their social media guys and their guys who, you know what I mean, like people who would reach out and talk. Like, that was beautiful during Infinite Warfare Zombies. Like, I would love to get that kind of communication.
No, for sure. No,
and I feel like half of even the Woo lads, like half of our videos or comments or Twitter responses are us explaining shit, why shit was decided the way it was to people.
When we asked what was going on with the communication of the game, he gave me a really long answer that a lot of it just didn't make sense, but what I got out of it was that the developers of the game are not subjected to communicate what they're doing. That's the answer I got.
I feel like we're in this point where like everybody's toxic and we're just saying, no, the YouTubers are toxic, YouTubers says, no, the Reddits are toxic. And it's really just, it comes down to shit like that. Like, if we could get more communication going on, I think. Because I think the big gap and divide is Black Ops 4 good? Like, that's really the fucking line down the middle of the community right now.
And
and I think as a game it's good, but Treyarch have dropped the ball entirely on the communication front.
Like, when people ask me if they should get Black Ops 4, I say, okay, did you like Black Ops 3? Did you like a map like Zetsubo? If you didn't like a map like Zetsubo, then don't get Black Ops 4, because that's all of the maps. It's the same thing over and over. Especially with maps like Dead of the Night, for example. What is the communication? Nobody knew it was coming out. Nobody knew that it was the celebrity cast. This was supposed to be a huge map, and it just flops because nobody has any idea. And like, and it just it astounds me that people on the Reddit can be mad at me for that when I say, you know what, part of the map was ruined because this map didn't have hype.
Yeah, I could see where they were going, I guess, with the surprise release, but I personally wouldn't have done it with a celebrity cast. That was really fucking dumb, especially Kiefer Sutherland. Like, Jesus Christ.
Well, that's what I mean.
People were mad because I remember you said something along the lines of like, if we only get fucking face paints or whatever on whatever day, I'm gonna shit if all we get is like face paints or challenges or some dumb shit. And then the map comes out and you were still pissed that we got the map. Well, but of course I can see where you're coming from with the lack of marketing, but I'm just saying that's where they were coming from.
I feel like the YouTubers are more angry because of the false promises we were promised by developers. We've literally had developers told us that there would be weekly updates on the game. There would be full weekly updates, and in a way there is, but it's not truly weekly. It's like, okay, we switched a reticle, or we gave you a reticle on this gun.
Yeah, like there's an update weekly, but it's usually minor shit like bug fixes and little and not
in my opinion, that's not an update, you know? Like,
yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, I guess technically it is, but I see what you're saying about there's no content, there's nothing. Why would you even say you're gonna get weekly updates if it's shit like that? But I think a lot of that can be blamed on Activision and the decision to release this game in October, and then like obviously the game was clearly not ready when it came out, just crashing and shit. It seems like they're cutting costs like company wide almost for some reason.
Activision stock has fell like 40% or something like after Black Ops 4. It was ridiculous. The investors thought it would do as good as Black Ops 3. It didn't, and then the stock fell. Thus, this whole problem would not even exist if Treyarch just decided to talk about their zombies updates. If it just wasn't like, if Vonderhaar was, for example, in charge of multiplayer Blackout and zombies, this whole problem of people blaming YouTubers for all this extra bullshit about complaining about the game and all of that, it just wouldn't be an issue because you guys would know what would be happening. The YouTubers would be happy. We would, like, it just seems like they don't know what people want in the game, and we're giving them all these different suggestions and all these different ideas, and it's just like we're just getting shit on as YouTubers and just as the community as a whole. That's what I mean. I just don't understand the whole secrecy and zombies thing. Like, to me, I just think as a content creator, as they're trying to release a new storyline, it really fucks with me because 9, for example, is the end. Dead of the Night technically is the first map. And then you got Voyage, and it's just so confusing that I don't understand why Treyarch thinks that something like the Chaos will really pick up for Black Ops 5 or whatever the next game they're going to do, right? I feel like in the year 2019, and including me, you're going to be seeing like a huge revolution in YouTubers. And I know maybe the Reddit's going to be rejoicing by this, but I feel like most of these bigger YouTubers are going to leave.
Yeah, and I mean, you're completely entitled to that. Like, if you guys don't like it and don't want to fucking make videos on it, go ahead. I think a lot of people just see what's going on as, and it does lean towards the conspiracy theory side. So like people think that it's more of like a coordinated smear campaign against the game, because it's like, well, if I just go and play Fortnite, all my viewers are going to bitch and ask me to play zombies. If I make them all think zombies is dookie, I'll just go to Fortnite naturally. Nobody will give a fuck, and then I'll keep my money. So that's what a lot of people see it as.
My biggest thing that I also don't understand from the Reddit is why my opinion matters. Like, I'll get multiple posts like every couple of weeks that just talk about why I personally, for example, I think Dead of Night is a pretty good map, but again, does it change anything that we've seen since Black Ops 2 Origins? Absolutely not. It's the exact same. It's a different system, but there's nothing else with inside the game for later content, and that kills the game. And of course, with the crashes and all the bugs and the glitches, when people were complaining about that, it's lost so many people. So many people have left and are never coming back just because of that sole reason. They don't get that. It's like we're talking. It's like YouTubers are talking to the fucking wall. Like, I don't know.
Well, I think, I mean, as far as like why your opinion matters to people, like why people would get fucked up over your opinion or whatever, is that what you're saying on Reddit? I think a lot of that is because they feel like you guys represent them, like to Treyarch. Like when Treyarch listen, they hear you guys way before they hear some random jackass in a Reddit thread. You know, they feel like you're just like, this is Dookie, what the fuck, you don't give a fuck about us. And like people feel like they have to scream out to counter against that, so that Treyarch feels like, you know, there's some people who fucking do like what they're getting. Because you got to remember, for some people, Black Ops 3 was their first fucking game, so that could be a lot of why they don't mind the Origins shtick,
yeah, absolutely. And like, honestly, this all kind of heads back to Treyarch, because in my opinion, it's just this thing where it's like Treyarch kind of fucked YouTubers over because they're doing all these radical changes. People are mad about it, and then YouTubers get mad about it because people are mad about it, and then the Reddit gets mad at the YouTubers for being mad about it and not supporting the game. And then it's all of a sudden blamed on us when Treyarch is just doing all these radical changes and they're not explaining it. So it's this like missing piece to the puzzle that it's driving me insane.
Yeah, it's just become completely cyclical. Like there's no point to this. Like people are just shitting on each other now. Like we don't even know for what. Like I've felt a lot of that going on in the whole ordeal. Like a lot of the time, like especially just random people on Reddit when I'm scrolling through threads and just reading and shit sometimes for boredom. Like I feel like people don't even know what the fuck they're talking about, and like at the same time, like there's a lot of legitimate complaints brought forward on Reddit that sort of get lost in the bullshit of people being mad about dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying everything Reddit says is bullshit.
Right? No, for sure.
A lot of the stuff lays with Treyarch, like the lack of communication is a huge problem. Like yeah.
I don't know, like a lot of it is even the way that Treyarch is portraying things. For example, like daily callings. Another great example is Speed Cola. They took it out of the game and now it's back, and they're kind of describing it as new content for zombies when really it's been in the game for 10 years. Zombie YouTubers are seen as being negative, but it's just like I don't understand why the Redditors and viewers don't see that. You know, they don't make that connection, right?
I think a lot of that again comes to it's not Black Ops 4, it's just zombies in fucking general that people are bored of. Like this shit was like I think like if you were expecting Black Ops 4 to rip zombies a new asshole and like just be crazy new or something, then I could see where the disappointment would come from. But when people were, you know, expecting a zombies game mode, like it's pretty much it's a pretty damn good one. And like I feel like if I look at all of them with fresh eyes, as like I would feel like Black Ops 4 is the most interesting system as far as like how the like I like it a lot better than the old perk system. I like the new.
It's exactly what you're saying. It's about the content, like, and ultimately for YouTubers, we're trying to make careers off this. We're trying to bring more attention, but the problem is it's just like when it's not geared for content, when it's not suitable, it's hard because we're just given so many responsibilities through Treyarch itself in a way that it doesn't like. It just shouldn't be like that. I don't know. I just think the hate for specific YouTubers for trying to like clickbait the game to get more eyes, to get more viewers, and then Reddit clowns down on them, and it's ridiculous in a sense, because you know, like, people are trying to do their best. People on Reddit for sure know the state of YouTube. And like, I just feel like it's a thing that they can just nitpick, and then we're just here like, okay, like this really unmotivates us for making videos for the fucking game, because you're just sitting here fucking shitting all over us when we're trying to actually bring more viewers, you know, trying to do the best, trying to make the best guides, whatever it is, you know. For example, all of us, we went to Alabama like a couple weeks back, and it was literally because we were all fucking depressed. We were all so fucking depressed about Black Ops 4 that we were like, for fuck's sake, I want to take a break. We all want to take a break. Like, we expected so much new stuff for the game, and it's like, we just feel like Treyarch just half-asses it, you know? Like, for example, Rush is such a good game mode, but they need more. They have the Dead Ops power-ups, they can put that in, they could add little things, but they just choose not to. Like,
yeah, I think a lot of that would have to do with, like, the stability of the game right now, you know, and stuff, and they obviously don't want to wreck it again, but I do agree that, like, there's certain things that could be expanded more upon or whatever, but at the end of the day, like, those, like, there's not enough shit to do in this map. Again, just falls back to that core, like, zombies is kind of fucking boring, and we're all bored of it.
Right.
And that's fine.
And that's what this is what I mean. You can only play the same thing so many times, like,
yeah, I'll agree with that.
The reason why Milo, for example, loves something like Destiny is because it's truly something that zombies could turn into. Like, we could be having raids on certain Easter eggs, and like they could be adding certain quest lines and like making it really interesting. And that's what we thought Factions was. And then it's just like, for it to be delayed and not put in the game, it's just all this bad timing and ridiculousness that I just can't understand. Because to me personally, I don't know what Factions is, I don't know exactly what it entails, but it could be something huge for the community, right? And like even in the smallest things, like a weekly challenge, that's already a stream that you could do on YouTube, right? That's something for the community to watch over, especially if it's something cool. And it's just like, I always describe Black Ops 4 as like 95% of the way there, but this 5% is what just breaks its whole core of the system. Like, I do agree the new system is cool. I do agree with all the new challenges and aspects, and I think the maps are good, but it needs that thing, that something else to push it even more. So
yeah, like, I definitely think, like, you know, that's true. I mean, at the end of the day, like, zombies is boring. Like we've said, it's not enough. You have to have something. And I think factions, you know, could work as interesting just as something as simple as, like, you know, the headshot challenges we got towards the end of Black Ops 3. Cut up 4 fucking parts of the community, one for each of the little triangle symbols for the gods or whatever.
Right.
And then have them all a headshot challenge. First one to get there, get an extra fucking shit that nobody else gets. It was a bun that was pulled out of the oven too early. Not really on the fault of Treyarch. It's not necessarily always their decision to do shit like that, without getting too deep into it or whatever. But I can agree with your point that there's shit that's needed. I just feel like, at least personally, like, this is the most intelligently and, like, understandably I've ever heard your opinion on this, like, voice. Like, as far as, like, this, I can get where you're coming from. Whereas, like, I've watched some of your videos, like the Black Ops 4 3 is better than Black Ops 4 video, and I was ready to throw my fucking headset through the wall. I was like, what in the goddamn? I shit you not, dude. The Willows had a call where we all watched that video together, and there was like 3 people screaming by the time we were like, what the fuck is he talking about, bro? The transit has more content than fucking Black Ops 4 maps. I said, whoa, like, I fucking was wicked to me.
I have to start this off with saying I hate making negative videos about Black Ops 4. Like, I really do. I know I've made a bunch, and I know I've been saying like stuff like that, but it's just like, it's to prove a point in its own essence. Like, for sure, like, Transit having more content than Black Ops 4, like, in some aspects it's true, but in some aspects absolutely not. I totally get that, but it's just like, there's just so many problems with this game mode that it's surprising, because most common players just love zombies. Zombies is just always good, and then they go onto this game and it's just like, what the fuck happened?
I have a lot of normie friends that, like, I call them normies because they don't like watch YouTube or whatever. Like, you know, they still enjoy Black Ops 4 a lot. They like it a lot, and a lot of them find the new perk system, like, way more approachable and, like, not as confusing in the new map and stuff. But, like, I do understand the grounds you're standing on. You know what I'm saying?
Right, like, right. I'm just gonna interrupt you here. I do apologize in some aspect, because I know sometimes with my YouTube videos I try to, like, just really go in on a point and just laugh it off. And I know for somebody that's really interested in the game, for example, it could be absolutely ridiculous, my opinion, because it's just something that I want to prove to make a point. And, like,
yo, I get that, brother. Believe me, listen. As you know, I get what you're saying, and I just think a lot of people get frustrated because, like, it's not like people are delusional and don't understand that there's shit wrong with the game or shit that could be in the game that would make it better. It's more like people feel like the attitude of, what the fuck, Treyarch, you guys are retarded, you don't even give a fuck, we hate you. Like, that is just never going to improve anything.
Right.
Like, we just want to be like, look, this is good, but we need this done here. But when it's so harsh and it comes off as just bullshit, like, it's probably stuff they just shrug off, like, at the end of the day.
Right,
because, like, you have to. Like, look at Lee Ross's Twitter replies, you know, the shit he gets of, like, this game is retarded. It just turns into nonsense.
I think at the end of the day, it's just a miscommunication with everybody. And, like, honestly, just as a side note, after Black Ops 4, I truly think the best zombies developer that was ever in the game, I have to say this, was Lee Ross. Because he had to take so much bullshit. Brother had to take so much bullshit from the community, and that's even including from YouTubers. He stuck it out, and he did some of the most improvements to zombies that has ever been done in the whole mode, and I truly respect that. Like, I know a lot of my chat is saying that the main problem for zombies right now is definitely the fatigue. But it's just like, man, they could really fix it if they had something like Lee Ross, where they really changed up the formula.
Well, I mean, yeah, well, you got to remember that the really good shit, like, everybody fucking hated Infinite Warfare Zombies until, like, around just before the Beast from Beyond came out, like the map before that, what was the Attack or whatever. Then people started kind of turning for it, and then Director's Cut sold people, and Mephistopheles, like, knocked it out of the park. So, like, zombies as a mode, like, at least for my personal opinion, after watching it, you know, some years, it develops the most out of any of the 3 modes throughout the season. Multiplayer will get balance patches and this and that, and they might get a new specialist now, but
for sure.
Like, changing and things changing in old maps and features changing, game modes being added, this, that, and the other, all that shit comes the most to zombies throughout the season.
Absolutely.
A lot of people are just giving Black Ops 4 shit because it doesn't have X and X feature from whatever zombies game that was added in the goddamn 3rd DLC or the 4th DLC. Like,
right.
you know, just I think the best thing we could do as a community, if we really do, like even YouTubers, if they really do want more shit in this to make videos about, is, of course, voice your complaints like a normal person. You know,
Right.
constructive criticism is always good. Recommendations for things to change, but try to be positive and encourage it. Don't say we're just going to walk away and not give a fuck, and make them just say, well, fuck it, we're not even going to touch zombies. If they just fucking complain about everything we do, we'll just do blackout multiplayer shit. Try to keep that crowd, because that's what Activision will do if we fuck around and just like make them think that zombies ain't gonna make no money. They'll pull all the money out from zombies and just say put it in blackout, put it in multiplayer. We need to fucking say like we want these improvements, and then if this game by the time DLC 3 or 4 is coming out hasn't improved or whatever, then it's time to say, well, this game's fucking shit. This game was a waste. But like, I just don't want to get into this game that is currently out is dookie, and then next year when the next COD comes out, I'll be like, damn, Black Ops 4 underrated classic. This game sucks dick.
I think obviously for YouTubers, a lot of it is the viewers. Like, and like when we see that they make certain like a lot of mistakes, like the lack of marketing and the lack of this and that, like it really affects the DLC. And I've had multiple YouTubers come to me after this DLC, even though it's a really good map, and just because there was no marketing, they're like, okay, the rest of the season pass is dead now, because like according to statistics, the most popular DLC for sure is almost always DLC 1 in your game, right? Sometimes it's DLC 4, but DLC 1 usually has a strong basis as to where the rest of the season will lead. Like, for example, I wasn't a fan of World War II. I still don't like World War II zombies. I think it's one of the worst systems of zombies that's ever been made, and I think it added almost no innovation to the game. I think a lot of it was random. I think Easter egg steps were not cohesive. They didn't make sense, and I complained about that. And it's just like, fine, people hate me for that because they like it and I don't, with a differing opinion. I get that, but like, I just don't understand why. Like, it just seems like the Treyarch devs are one step behind when they should be 2 steps ahead. They should be thinking, oh, maybe players don't like this insane difficulty. Maybe instead of making the content the artificial difficulty, we should make the content the actual stuff we add into the game, like something that Lee Ross did, you know, boss modes and different areas and different ways to do it. You know what I mean?
You don't eat vegetables?
So, yeah, I can see where you're coming from with that.
So,
I mean, that's it for this one.
Like, and I think that's why a lot of YouTubers are mad with Black Ops 4, because especially with something like Dead of the Night, there's fucking a billion parts for everything that doesn't even matter. Like the silver bullets, there's like fucking so many variations. It's ridiculous, you know?
Yeah, I'll agree with you that I do like Dead of the Night, but I do think the silver bullets take a little too long. Like there's too many part locations, just too much bullshit going on. And I mean, I'll even agree with you as Treyarch are a step behind. Like I was even saying that during Black Ops 3, I got shit for being like the guy that was like, you know, Treyarch don't really know what the fuck they're doing. Like, what is this? Like, but I was completely disinterested in that game, obviously, because most of its plot got spoiled during Black Ops 2 or whatever. But then, like, it was just, and then it was just like, it felt like nothing happened. Like in the first fucking DLC of Black Ops 3, you know, they told every location for every map in the map pack besides Revelation. They literally give you that piece of paper in, it was either Shadows or the Giant that had all the coordinates on it or whatever. And I mean, I just think that they are a step behind, but I don't think that like that means this game is bad. I think by all means this is the best Treyarch game, and by the time all is said and done, I think a lot more people will agree. Like when they've had time to fine tune it over the season and stuff, I think we'll all kind of agree that this is like the primo experience.
Like, but I think one of the also major things that YouTubers are kind of mad about with Black Ops 4 is because I think it's the first time ever, Black Ops 4, it's the first time ever that Call of Duty, in a sense, has had, it has major competition this year. And at the beginning of Black Ops 4, it was Fortnite. Now, in a lot of YouTubers' minds, Fortnite has essentially taken hold and reigning king. Like, it's the reigning king now. So, with the competition, we were thinking like, oh man, they're going to be changing up. They're going to be adding so many updates, just like Fortnite does. Like, new guns every week, new this, new that. Like, it's going to be crazy. And then when we get nothing, it's sad because we've expected so much, and like, especially I think what made it a lot worse is from developers themselves, employees saying that yes, we're going to be doing this, and then all of a sudden it's weekly updates and it's a little fucking radical, and everybody's like, fuck's sake, you know?
Coming from a guy who got burned about a dog on Blood of the Dead, don't fucking trust developers when they tell you. Don't always trust them. But
That's what I mean. There's no communication. Like it's fucking stupid.
I just think judging it against like Fortnite isn't particularly fair. Like, I mean, I think that the competition there obviously does inspire you to want that kind of shit. But a lot more development would go into a COD gun than a Fortnite gun. Like, obviously,
and that's what viewers don't see, and that's what YouTubers don't see for sure, right? Like,
and if they would communicate that for more, I think if they would at least communicate, like, even if it's not like nothing is coming out this week, they're like, we're working on yada yada yada, and it's coming when we fix it, when we get it working. You know, take your time, QA shit. Don't give us a bunch of broken shit. And God Almighty, stop abusing your QA testers. They're killing me. Like, I can't get any business when QA testers leak 2 DLCs at a time, and I run a leaks channel.
Well, I get that. I think what bothers a lot of YouTubers as well is that they think it's really possible. Because, for example, having gone to Treyarch, I know that their offices in a lot of areas can be small, especially the sound design. God bless somebody like Kevin Sherwood, you know.
Oh, hero.
Absolute legend, right? But the thing is just... It just, like, when I see such a wasted potential game, in my opinion, like World War II, it makes me wonder why developers aren't working for Treyarch, guys, that's it for this one. And ultimately, that's an Activision problem, right, where they can't be having more hands on deck or something like that. But, like, it's just to me that Call of Duty had such an entirely possible chance of being a legendary game this year and being something that would be continuing off for years and years on Black Ops 4. But it's just like, we already know that something like Modern Warfare 4 is coming out for next year. We already know that all this other shit is coming out. And it just hurts because I feel like this is it. And, you know, for Black Ops 5 to focus on the Chaos storyline, it's going to be it for a lot of other people. And I think a lot of people are going to mark this as the true death of zombies, because this is where it ends. And by Black Ops 5, the game is going to be radically different in a way that people did not want. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but I mean, a lot of that just comes with you can't continuously like keep having the same shit at the same time. We can't. Like, I get you that when they you know cut the neck of the Aether storyline, and it's like, okay, you know, bada bing, bada boom, cycle's broken, everybody's happy at the end, whatever bullshit they do for it. Like, when they do that, of course, there's gonna be people that are like, fuck it, I'm done with zombies. But like, at the same time, there's people like me who are like, please God, just treat this story like Old Yeller, take it out back and fucking shoot it, let me give up. Like, I've been hooked on this to try to figure out how it ends for like 10 years, and I fucking did it a long time ago.
And honestly, man, I think when it truly ends, like, I feel like, sure, maybe it'll be satisfying, but then that's it, you know? Like, I personally for sure can tell you I'm not interested in the Chaos storyline as much as the Aether, without a doubt, dude. Like, to me, there's nothing interesting, and, like, when I see maps like Voyage of Despair, and I see the wasted potential in a map like that, where Titanic is such an emotional story, and the story they tell is just some bullshit with Bruno becoming part of the fucking society, and I'm just like, are you shitting me? Like, it's wasted potential, and like,
no, I mean, I'll agree with that, but I think I'm of the opinion that the only way zombies can really survive past the end of the Aether storyline is you got a Pokemon it, basically. Just make it to where you can do some shit. Like Infinite Warfare had it pretty well, where they had a plot that was loose goose enough that they could just do whatever the fuck they wanted. Like, keep the same characters, but change them up enough to make them like, they used the way the characters changed between maps in Infinite Warfare so that they kept the same characters so that you gave a damn, but they could adjust them mildly between maps, like based on the gimmick of the map or whatever, depending on what people did and didn't like. So like, you know, I just think doing something like that, like maybe with even the Ultimates crew, like just when the cycle breaks, have all of time fucking explode for all I care, and then it's just like random alternate universes that don't affect each other at all. They're all little pocket stories or whatever. That I would be fine with that, but that's the only way it's going to survive, I feel like, past the death of the Aether storyline. And I don't think the blame particularly lays on either side. I know we were coming into this wanting to fucking somebody to win, but
well, no, and I'm glad to agree, man, because at the end of the day, I want exactly what you want, and in a lot of areas, I'm fully grateful for somebody like the Woo Lads for fully like trying to give out what the actual fucking game is about.
That touches my heart, man, because like when you said fuck the Woo Lads or whatever the other day, that really hurt. That was a shock to the heart, though. Like,
to me, I see people like you guys, and I see news channels, and I'm like, these guys are the people that are actually telling Treyarch what the fuck is about the game, because I don't Like, for example, Fortnite has almost nobody on the game that, like, predicts it. You know, sometimes there's data miners, sometimes there's that. And obviously, sometimes that can be an issue. People don't want to get it spoiled, yada, yada, whatever. Yeah. But at least the fucking developers of the game actually put their shit out on their Twitter, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas, like, you guys have to be putting it out, and then you're trying to avoid getting fucking banned by Treyarch, where Treyarch should be fucking explaining this shit themselves. Like, it's blowing my fucking mind.
I think, dude, let's bridge the gap. Hell yeah, I'm down, bro. We'll be friends.
Ultimately, I think I just want to conclude this saying, ultimately, I think a lot of this was Treyarch's fault, especially for the problems for Black Ops 4. And, like, unfortunately for a lot of YouTubers, I think in the year 2019, it's going to be messy. I think it's going to be really messy. I think a lot of YouTubers, a lot of main YouTubers that you currently know are either going to quit or are either going to stay, and just viewers are going to die. I think it's just going to be a really messy year. I hope the Reddit now can kind of calm down on the bigger YouTubers and focus on other people. There's more content than just us, right? Like,
yeah, and you know, we just hope you guys can go forward, you know, being more positive as well. Like, you know, some of the suggestions I made or whatever. Like, let's both go forward trying to improve like what we're doing.
I saw a lot of those motherfuckers donated. We'll do it for tomorrow. Okay, chat? Tomorrow. I'll see you guys later.
What's that? Oh, damn it, baby, you bad. Yeah. Heard you got a boyfriend. That's cool, girl. Where is he at? Ooh, he fucked up. You lucked up. You done ran to the motherfucking man. Look, I make you my babe for a day. You should be happy I'm giving you back. Cause I can make you wifey for a week. We can spend a weekend in Japan. If anyone fuck